dreams pelted with stones. 1. He is carrying a plastic pail, from which expired shampoo foam is falling, and he is afraid of the intersection of the streets full of noise and movement. He stays away from the centers in which he mixes hustle and insomnia with people, but he always makes sure to hide behind the clock, filtering only. While the shifts of the watchful eyes change. Certainly he does not know the faces of all passers-by, perhaps someone caught him. He may have membership in one of the committees of state institutions whose fingertips are accustomed to drawing the bill of violations, elegantly from the offspring of social hypocrisy, etc. 2. He and the bucket are roaming among the neighborhoods, aiming for cars that lie on clean asphalt in the bosom of a street that has not heard of dust. Where a squad was recruited with their full tools of cleaning means to serve this street, and trim the branches of its trees under the weight of anxiety and fear of an official who lives in it. The latter may have threatened the latter not to renew the maintenance contract of the ministry in which he works, in favor of the employer of the poor band. All things on Administrator Street look clean. Even the walls of the houses there are still empty paintings. The children's feather hadn't hurt her yet. And she hadn't scribbled any formations in vain. 3. The owner of the bucket inspects the first car, looks at its windshield, and then remembers the words of its owner, who dries the plastic water of the pail with foam from his harsh words. Perhaps he intended to achieve a result in cleaning beyond the usual, and he was not satisfied with this, but rather dried the throat of the poor laborer monthly, the more he repeats a request for his fee in exchange for cleaning the car. The scene of remembrance in the head of the industrious man where the owner says the car has swollen neck veins. Before you finish the job of cleaning the car, make sure that you are able to fix yourself by the reflection of the light on its doors. It is unfortunate that it is a burden above it. An effort that depicts the panting running after a living, which the laboring man may have been able to forget with a pendulum pinch. 4. The estranged, industrious man begins to work, wipes the face of the car with water, and imagines that with this he might be able to wipe the tears of one of his children, which may have fallen painfully on his father's alienation. Now he has finished washing the annoying car as is his owner, after spending time the size of his reassurance that does not come. The industrious man is getting ready to pick up his things, a bicycle, a rag, a plastic pail of water in which the suds are swimming, into another car, after a short distance on his bicycle. The industrious man felt a worry that crept into his head and seized his concentration, as he surrendered to his vast imagination the size of the horizon. And he departed with him on a journey to the rice plantations of his country, which lie with a group of other nations to make up Southeast Asia. That bitter journey makes him feel that his dreams are in the air, and he has to pick them up too. He returns to his reality and finds himself having stopped involuntarily in front of another car that needs to be cleaned. He starts first by washing his imagination and then the car, cleaning it in less time than the first car, and continues his journey to the next car. 5. So far he has spotted 5 cars in his notebook. He decides to rest a little, looks for a shadow under a sidewalk and finds it, then sits a little to wipe his sweat that smells of toil and has fallen from his forehead, away from reality for a moment. He travels through his imagination again to where there are coconuts and tea trees. His eyes turn to his bicycle, and he clicks with his right forefinger, persistently, to start the bicycle spinning. With this regular movement only, he reads the timing of the time that is leaking without the need for a pendulum. He realizes that he is still at the beginning of the road, and hopes to reach a satisfactory result at the end, to track down his pockets of clothes, perhaps finding enough to build a roof supported on 4 walls containing him and his family of 4 working to serve his blind mother. 6. After working all day, He returns to where he stays all night. The day passes, but his space fills him with sighs. His anxiety may end, temporarily, when renewing his residence permit. But his only obsession is his confusion in front of those children who throw stones at him before every sunset. They mock from him, and they say to him, "Friend, what do you want? Don't come back to our lane." The industrious man is afraid of having his bicycle stolen, but he does not stop dreaming, may he be accepted.